my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today will be big box store plant shopping at Lowe's out in West Plano, Texas. It is a cloudy day, and when I filmed this video, this was actually part of the videos that I filmed when I was canceled out of PlantCon 2025 New York City because American Airlines ended up canceling my flight 40 minutes before we were going to take off. So as always, plant foldies, make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video, as well as give me a follow on Instagram. My Instagram name is at Grow Folds, and if you have any questions or want to get in touch with me directly, that is the fastest and most direct way to do so. But you can see right here, I am trying to be productive. When I had filmed this video, I was really down in the fact that I was really looking forward to going to PlantCon 2025 in New York City. Sometimes things are just not meant to happen. And even though all of the flight was canceled, I went ahead and chose to make a productive day, and I was able to film several big box stores as I was out and about. I didn't really want to just mope at home. So there you go, plant foldies. Today is another one of the videos that I filmed this past weekend, where I decided to go ahead and take you alongside with me to go big box store plant shopping. You can see that fall season is around the corner. We see some croton plants, and we see all of these beautiful, colorful coleus plants. And I love coleus plants in the sense that they are fast growers. They're very easy to propagate, and you can make them a versatile plant. You can make them an outdoor patio plant, a garden landscape plant, or adaptable to be an indoor house plant. So many uses for coleus plants. For me, I think coleus plants are another plant that not a lot of people are talking about in terms of growing as a house plant. It may not be that tropical aesthetic that we want, but as you can see right here, we do have fall is for planting. It definitely is. So I am excited to start planting some of my Japanese maples, because fall time is actually the best time to place down trees. But we're going to go ahead and go straight into the main event, which is going into the indoor tropical section. We're going to see what plants they have available from Costa Farms, Live Trends Design, and Urban Jungle Plants. So you can see right here, they did get a shipment of plants. I don't know if I'm going to go dig into those boxes, but let me go ahead and just give you a pan around overview of the plants. Again, plant foldies, I really appreciate all the words of encouragement, the viewership, the comments, the like button being pressed, and all of the super stickers that you've given me in terms of a monetary tip. It definitely has uplifted my spirits, and I wanted to make sure that I tried to make a good example about what you do when things are not going the way that you plan. Do you just feel defeated? Or in my sense, I just wanted to go ahead and continue to move forward, allow myself to feel that disappointment, that sadness, but utilize that energy to something that I can control, and that is to be productive and move on. So let's go ahead, plant foldies, and take a look at some of these plants. You can see we've got a lot of these orchids, and I'm just going to pan around and walk around to show you what else they have available. Here's another example of a pretty full Lowe's location. This one again is in West Plano, Texas, so it's further up north from the downtown Dallas area. And you can see right here, $13.98 for these beautiful bromeliads. And like I said again, I love the look of bromeliads. I think they have some really stunning colors. I'm just curious to see if anybody's actually made bromeliads into like a living wall where you can actually mount them on a plank, if that's even possible. Plant foldies, and for those that are new to the channel, I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. Welcome, my name is Richie, and I do daily 1-hour plant shopping videos. I do ask if you know anything about bromeliads, or if you've ever tried to actually mount them on a wooden plank. Let me know how that works out for you, because this one right here, if I were to choose one, this is probably the one I would choose, because look at how beautiful the striping is on the leaves. And then I love the fact that it even has like pink tips on the leaves. Really stunning plant, and it's another one that I would like to add in my plant collection, but whether I'm going to actually add it would be something long term. I am really just trying to be happy with the plants I have. Now, for those that are waiting, I did want to say shout out to at Big Leaf Gym on Instagram. He was actually at PlantCon. He was the one that was able to pack up all of my plants that I got from Art Garden Flowers and at leafcrafter.id that I was originally going to pick up, but obviously my plane got canceled, and so I couldn't make it to the New York City PlantCon. So shout out to Jim, my friend. He was able to grab the plants for me, and I was able to pick them up yesterday, and I was able to just go ahead and pot them up. I only had one plant casualty that went to Plant Heaven, but you know, when it comes to like getting plants from overseas, if you have a great seller, they're always willing to work with you. I'm already going to get a replacement for my next shipment. But yes, updates on that. And as you can see right here, we are still looking at these beautiful bromeliads. You know, my thoughts after, PlantCon has come and go. I saw some of the media that was posted on there. And, you know, for me, I think it's really just a disappointment of not being able to create plant content for all of the plant foldies, because I know that many of you guys may not necessarily be able to attend something like that. And I always feel like if I make long format plant videos, that you would be able to at least experience it vicariously through my camera lens. So for me, it wasn't meant to be, but I'm really happy that my friends were able to go there. I'm really happy that I was able to get my plants that I wanted from PlantCon, and there's always PlantCon Dallas, so 100% confirmed that I will be going to Dallas PlantCon for at least that Saturday. Sunday remains to be seen, but I will be there for sure on Saturday. October 18th? I'm not 100% sure. I have to double check that, but we'll see what that all looks like. In terms of just everything else PlantCon related, we'll see if there's more content. Let me know in the content or the comment section if you find any more PlantCon videos that I definitely need to watch. I am just so excited to see the plants that I received, and know that I'm going to have a PlantCon New York City 2025 haul on my YouTube video. So if you haven't already, please make sure you are pressing that subscribe button with all the notification bell on. And for those that tuned in to my last big box or plant shopping video, thank you for pressing the thumbs up or like button for the video. It is almost at 2,000 views. And like I said, again, watching the videos all the way through, so watch time is super important, as well as pressing the thumbs up video definitely helps recommend it to more people that love plants. And we're so close to 13,000 Plant Foldy subscribers. I'm hoping to get to 13,000 Plant Foldy subscribers by the end of this month, which is September. Help me out by just sharing my videos, pressing the thumbs up like button for the video, as well as watching my videos all the way through. Now, as far as Costa Farms plants, you'll notice that there are so many trays of Costa Farms plant. This one is the dark mystery Polea. I love the metallic look of this particular plant. It is better suited to be more of a, a terrarium plant. So for me, Polea plants in general are just not going to be in my space because I am just not really good about watering my plants. I've been able to work alongside and get my plants taken care of because I have them growing outdoors. I know that some people may not agree with me when I say that growing plants outdoors is the best way to go. I truly believe it is, because you're able to water them consistently with a hose. You're able to water away the plant pests because a hose will pretty much wash off a lot of spider mites and other things. And in terms of the soil substrates that are used, most likely, especially if you live in North Dallas where the weather is still pretty hot, the soil will dry out pretty fast. It's not going to stay too mushy for too long. I remember when we were getting 90+ degree weather in North Dallas, I would have to water my plants twice a day, once in the morning and then later in the afternoon, early evening. And I had that routine going, and I could see that there's a lot of plants that actually got a lot of growth. So really excited about that. But again, plant foldies, let me just go ahead and continue to pick up some plants. Feel free to leave in the comments section what you think. I mean, you can see we've got a beautiful blooming anthurium right over here by Costa Farms for $13.98. And I guess another disappointment or regret of not being able to go to PlantCon is I wasn't able to meet Justin Hancock, the horticulturist of Costa Farms. He is the man behind some of these plant discoveries that they put through for Costa Farms. I was really wanting to have a conversation just about Costa Farms plants because obviously I feature Costa Farms plants consistently, almost on a daily basis. And I just wanted to give them some of my insights and feedback and see if they would take that back to their nursery. You already know I was going to talk about aglaonemas and the need to just get even more colorful varieties, because I truly believe that aglaonema could become the trending plant. It's kind of under, like not under somebody's radar, but again, when you talk about plants consistently on social media, when you post about plants consistently on social media, when you see videos about a certain plant on social media, I think people start to get excited. I think people start to find the interest. It's kind of like supply and demand. If there is a demand, you're going to get the supply. So, let's try to hashtag popularize aglaonema. Now over here is $18.98. So we're looking at some of these Costa Farms bonsai. So this one right here has a pretty good structure. For those that don't know what bonsai is, again, it is the art of growing a tree, a miniature tree in a shallow container. It's one of those where you want to make sure that you train it, you trim it, you do all the things that you need to do in order for it to do well in its container. Is a Live Trends design plant. I like that it's got a sansevieria, or what you call a snake plant, in one of these Statue of David heads. Really interesting, pretty quirky planter. And with Live Trends design, whether it is very modern contemporary aesthetics or just quirky like this, I find that really intriguing, and it just makes plant styling, collecting plants elevated on a different level for sure. And you can see over here again, plant foldies, many different types of plants. I would even say that it looks like another jungle paradise with just all of the plants hanging, trailing. You got different types of planters. And I do ask the plant foldies, for those that have started off the week, how did you spend your Labor Day on Monday? Did you go plant shopping? Did you go to a big box store? Did you relax? Let me know in the comment section below. I know that I ended up having to work, but I was able to pot up some of my plants from PlantCon before I got into work. So for me, I know that some of my import videos where I actually rehydrate the plants, a lot of the plants I have that are imports now, I just put straight into soil using Classy Rabbit soil, as well as mixing it with Fox Farm fertilizers to just let it hold a little bit more moisture. And I think that has worked out very well for me for any of the imported plants or plants that you need to acclimate or actually get it to recover from stress. I cannot stress to you enough on just growing them outdoors in a shaded patio. For some reason, taking your plants outdoors really gives them an extra boost in terms of their vigor and growth. Now, I've been looking at this plant right here. I do find the foliage beautiful. It's got a silver metallic shine. This is what you call a flame violet, and this particular one blooms some neon pink flowers, which I think are stunning. There are so many plants that Costa Farms releases to the general public. They get it from the wild and then they put it in cultivation for the general consumer. And it's really interesting how a lot of these plants that we buy, for instance, just Dracaena right over here, came from an environment somewhere in this planet, and it ends up in somebody's household space. And that's another thing I find intriguing, is the fact that plants really do bring a lot of people joy, and plants also create communities. I'm going to go on a tangent again as I pick up these plants and just say, for the plant foldies, you guys have really just made my journey into making plant content, to be able to create this space so enjoyable. I love the fact that many people genuinely cared that, you know, my flight was canceled, and the disappointment I shared on social media. You know, sometimes they say you shouldn't always put out your emotions on social media, but I tend to be one person that I'm very transparent with my feelings. I try to allow myself to feel a certain way, and then also realize and recognize that it is okay to not always be okay. And you know, that Saturday or that Friday was just really disappointing. The fact that I ended up, you know, taking an Uber, spending $60 just to be told that my flight was canceled, and several other American Airlines flights were there. Again, this is not me bashing American Airlines, because I know that they serve a lot of people, but for me, I just felt like the service, or the customer service, to mitigate any faults on the airplane just did not really happen. I didn't feel like there was an urgency to rectify the situation. There weren't really a lot of alternatives. I actually had to do my own searching to get a refund versus the actual help counter offering a refund right then and there. I ended up spending about $100 on just taking Ubers from my place and then back home. And so this is a result of me having to not make it to PlantCon, and that's me just filming these big box store plant shopping videos. And you can see as I pick up around here, there's just so many beautiful plants. You know, Life Trends Design and Costa Farms, it just really depends on, number one, your budget, and then number two, your aesthetic. I mean, you can see this one is our first Hedera Helix, or the wonderful ivy. The correct way to say it is Hedera Helix. It is an English ivy, and it's one that I wouldn't necessarily recommend growing indoors. And y'all know the reason why, because it is one of those plants that tends to be more of a spider mite prone type plant. Now over here is an easy care plant, and this one is the Philodendron Hederaceum Brazil. And if you guys hear some crowing, that's actually my barred rock hen Charlotte, who is very curious. She's always wanting to jump on things. She likes to jump on my shoulders. So if you hear her crowing as I do my voiceover, it's because I'm outside. I like to take the morning sun. You know, vitamin D is good, and I like to be around my plants when I'm doing these voiceovers. So if you hear some of that background music or background sounds, it's literally my barred rock crowing Charlotte. Now over here, pothos plants. I saw a lot of different types of pothos plants. My friend Big Leaf Jim actually showed me a new cultivar that somebody had, and that was the beautiful Epipremnum aureum Pretty Boy. It was like a tricolor type plant, and it's one that I thought was really cool, and he ended up getting it. So we'll see if we're able to see if the variegation actually grows, and that's where you get a lot of the pothos plants varieties, is through variegation mutation. So let me just get off of my commentary for a second and just show you all of the plants that they have here. As you've noticed, there's just lots of different types of house plants, whether it's big foliage plants that you saw, hanging baskets, kokedama, and right over here, I'm picking up a ginseng ficus. These are more Costa Farms bonsai, and you know, they make it affordable to get bonsai because on an average, bonsai can range up to a couple $100s to thousands of dollars. And you know, these are just pre-bonsai, and I say pre-bonsai because they definitely need more shape and training for it to really be a full-blown bonsai. I would also say that they are not necessarily in a proper shallow bonsai container. And so if you guys didn't know, I'm actually really honored to be an official affiliate for the bonsaisupply.com, the bonsai supply soil, which is one of the premium soils you can use for bonsai, as well as succulents and cactus, because they are fast draining and easy to work with. You don't really want to put a bonsai in an area where it doesn't have fast draining soil. And we're going to take a look at this. I'm excited to finally show you my unboxing of the bonsai supplies that I received a generous amount from the Bonsai Supply store. This is a company that is based out in Houston, Texas. I have been using the Bonsai Supply soil for many years now. I used to buy it off of Amazon, but you can actually buy this directly from the bonsaisupply.com. And you can see right here, this is their all-purpose fast draining soil that you can utilize for your bonsai. And for those that don't know, the bonsai is the art of growing beautiful miniature trees, and it is one that takes so much dedication. It is definitely creating living works of art, and in order to make living works of art, you really have to have premium soil and supplies. And I am just super excited that the Bonsai Supply company sent me this package of all of the supplies that I have used for many years. So you can see right here, I am struggling to unbox this. This is the organic slow release all-purpose fertilizer that is also made and sourced out in the United States. So all of their supplies in terms of just the soils and their fertilizers are sourced out and created in the United States. You can see right here, it is a gentle organic fertilizer, and it is all purpose, so you can utilize it for a lot of your plants. Here's the thing about the Bonsai Supply soil. It is definitely a complete soil. It is one that you can utilize as well for your succulents and cactus. So if you don't necessarily grow bonsai, you can actually utilize their soils because it is fast draining. So it's really good for even your succulents, your cactus, and your sansevieria, any type of plant that just needs fast draining soil. You can see that the Bonsai Supply has also sent me different types of wire gauges, as well as their other fertilizer right over here. You can see that this one is the non-organic fertilizer. So you have different choices, and all of these products you can find on the bonsaisupply.com or bonsaisupply.com. I do have an affiliate link for that is going to be in all of my descriptions for my YouTube videos. And I'm just really excited to be able to finally show you all of the amazing products that I received from Bonsai Supply. You can see right over here, this one is the black lava rock. So you can utilize these types of soils to amend your soil. So say you need to make your all-purpose soil a little bit more fast draining, you can utilize a lot of these soil amendments for it. So you can see that I've got 3 different types of soils. I am going to be using the all-purpose mixture that they already have on the very left, and I am so thankful that they even sent me other supplies such as this potting mat and Just Know plant foldies that I will utilize in another video, a demonstration of using all of their supplies. So I just wanted to show you guys what types of supplies I got from Bonsai Supply. Super excited that I met the owners when I was actually at PlantCon Houston 2025, and I'm just so thankful and honored that they chose me to be one of their affiliates to actually promote and share their products. I mean, you can see right here, we've got some stainless steel scissors, and what I like about the Bonsai Supply supplies that I've received in the past couple of years, aside from just getting this really generous package, is the fact that the soils do work. You can utilize it for a lot of your plants. You don't really have to worry about root rot. It is just fast draining. And I love the fact that all of the ingredients that they use is sourced from the United States. This is made in the USA, and we definitely want to support American products. This is an American company, and I just love the fact that the owners and the company really trusted me to show you all of these soils. So if you are interested in utilizing Bonsai Supply soils, please utilize my promo code for 10% off any of the supplies on your orders. Just use the promo code GROWFOLDS. It's just one word when you check out, and you will receive 10% off your entire order for these supplies. These are high quality supplies. This is some of the best bonsai supplies you can utilize. And this is just great products to use for a lot of your plants in general. So I urge everybody to follow the Bonsai Supply on Instagram and shop today. For those that didn't click away after just me inserting my blurb about the Bonsai Supply soil, I really encourage anybody to at least try a bag. Again, there is an affiliate link in the video description of this particular video. Use that and my promo code GROWFOLD and try out that actual soil. It is really good stuff. I have been using it for several years for my bonsai, and I would love for y'all to go ahead and try it. You do get 10% off using my promo code GROWFOLD. So you can see right over here, plant foldies. Look at this beautiful bromeliad. And you know, bromeliads are very, very common to find at a big box store, but just because a plant is common, it does not make the value of the plant any less. I always find that any plants that actually are readily available means that it is time and tested, easy to take care of, and should be in our spaces. I think that indoor plants in general, we want to find ones that are not as hard to keep alive. Like alocasia, for instance, this is a beautiful alocasia Milo, but the problem with alocasia is they're a little bit more of an intermediate or advanced level plant. And I say this because you have to stay on top of the watering. It is very much so spider mite prone. You also have to give it a lot of bright indirect light. Otherwise, it ends up wanting to go into dormancy. Same thing with Rex begonias. Like the angel wing cane begonias are a lot easier to manage. Rex begonias are a little bit more challenging. You definitely don't want to take a hose and water them. You want to make sure that you're bottom watering them, meaning you're filling up a bowl or a saucer with water and letting the drainage holes pick up the water and have it absorbed from the bottom. So that's just a couple of care tips for that particular plant. But as you can see right here, look at how full this Lowe's location is. And I'm always a fan of the Lowe's locations that have a separate, like almost greenhouse area for their indoor tropical plants. So we're going to go ahead and take another gander and look at these plants. If you want instant gratification plants, you can see that we have large ones right here, and I'm going to spin around and show you this Epipremnum pinnatum Cebu Blue pothos. It is trailing, it is hanging. I'm actually in the mood to chop up my pothos Epipremnum pinnatum Cebu Blue and actually get more plants out of it. It is another one of those plants that are very, very easy to root and water, and it is also a pretty vigorous grower. Of this philodendron neon or this philodendron lemon lime. Now this one has beautiful neon foliage, green foliage. For these plants though, you have to make sure you are providing it with lots of bright indirect light. Can't stress to you guys enough, otherwise it's going to revert back to more of a greener color, which is not bad, but if you're looking to maintain the neon, that's what you definitely need to do. And then over here is a beautiful Pachira aquatica Live Trends design plant. And actually for Live Trends design, I just find that this one has more texture and patterns to its planter than I typically would see. Pachira aquatica, or the money tree plant, is a commonly found plant, but in Asian cultures, it is considered to be one of those plants that brings prosperity and good luck. And then look at all of these Epipremnum pinnatum Cebu Blue. I'm really going to go on a kick and try to propagate so many Epipremnum pinnatum Cebu Blue. My grandmother has so many cuttings of these that she propagates. And, you know, for those that are still interested in my grandmother's plants, I definitely am going to go ahead and get that on Instagram. So if you have an Instagram, you can check my Instagram stories, and I'm just going to go ahead and put an auction, a starting bid for it, and we'll see how much people offer for some of her plants. Again, I think the shipping is going to be about $8, and then an additional $1 or $2 per plant if you want to claim for that. She has just mostly those black magic begonias, so we'll see. But we're going to also pick up a lot of these plants here. So if you saw that I picked up one Ficus elastica, that is the ruby. We have a Ficus lyrata over here, and these are all the self-watering Live Trends design planters. These are for $14.98. Love the matte finish, love the texture. It definitely looks modern. It's definitely one that you could put in your indoor spaces to really liven up and add some greenery to your plants. Now, I did end up getting a Ficus lyrata on sale at Home Depot for $10. It was in an 8-inch planter. So in terms of saving money on plants, again, it is all about going to different places to find your plants. Sometimes you'll find cost-effective plant pricing at a local nursery or a small business. Sometimes you'll find it at a big box store. Sometimes you'll find the plants even lower at another big box store. It's all about comparing and contrasting your pricing. And then another thing that I would also recommend in terms of being able to manage your finances when it comes to plants is literally looking to see if the plant is a need. And what I mean is something that you cannot live without, or one that you can wait. If it is a want, a plant that you can just wait until, say, the plant pricing goes down, or you find a cheaper alternative. That's another way I would say you could save money on plants, because as you see, I am picking up gorgeous plants like this golden pothos, for instance. Live Trends design planter, $16.98. I'm always tempted to buy pothos plants, but I already have pothos plants. I think the process of being able to multiply the plant through plant propagation is what attracts me to pothos plants. So that's something that I definitely want to revisit with a lot of people, is what attracts you to certain plants whenever you are going plant shopping. Feel free to leave that in the comments. And you already know, plant foldies, a lot of my big box store plant shopping videos is a little bit different than maybe some of the other content creators, in a sense that I like to have an open dialogue in terms of how I present the plants, but also want to garner feedback and comments in the comment section. Consider it almost like an old school message boards where we can just post stuff and people can respond. So let me know what plants really attract you whenever you go big box or plant shopping. Like, for instance, this dark foliage plants like this philodendron black cardinal is what attracts me to pick up a plant and buy it. This one is an urban jungle plant for $19.98, and I am loving every bit of it. Feel free to leave in the comment section again what you think of this particular plant. This one is absolutely stunning. And then we have a beautiful fern right here. I like the texture of the fern, but we'll see what that all looks like in terms of whether I end up getting a fern or not. I'm not really a big fan of ferns because of the care. Sometimes ferns are just a little bit too thirsty of a plant for me, and I need something that's going to be easier to manage. But let's go ahead and just continue to walk around here. As you can see, plant foldies, I did really try to be productive. So I hope that despite the fact that I wasn't able to go to PlantCon 2025 in New York City this year, this is a result of redirecting my energies to something productive, and that is making big box or plant shopping videos for you and I to enjoy. I mean, you can see here more Costa Farms plants, and these are very easy plants. This whole section right here, we've got a lot of Aglaonema Silver Bay. If you don't have an Aglaonema Silver Bay, please buy one. Buy one today. Go ahead and buy a Costa Farms Aglaonema Silver Bay. Let's go ahead and go shopping. Go ahead and buy one online. If you can't go to a big box store and get an Aglaonema Silver Bay, it is one of my favorite plants because it is durable. It is easy. This plant is budget friendly. This plant is low light tolerant, drought tolerant, and needs to be more popular with the general audience. And it's not even really about the popularity. I'm looking to promote Aglaonemas. It's just that I feel so passionate about the fact that these plants are so easy to take care of, yet they have beautiful foliage. So if you're looking for something that you can put in a space that has darker lighting, you need to go ahead and get an Aglaonema Silver Bay. This one is for $15.97 in a ceramic planter, and right next to it is a Dracaena. That one is a Lemon Surprise, and I'm just going to pan around here and show you some more of these beautiful plants. Take a look at this. This is the Flame Violet bloom. Really love the look of the Flame Violet. Absolutely stunning plant, and it's another one that I just would love to admire, at least at a big box store. I don't think I can necessarily take it back home and actually add it into my plant collection. You'll see that sometimes it's just better to admire the plant at the big box store or local nursery or even your friend's house. Not all plants are really meant to grow in our spaces, and I say this because there are often times when we all will go to a big box store, we want to spend all our money, want to go shopping, pretty much buy every single plant that we're looking at here, for instance, but it is not a sustainable way to grow a houseplant collection, because every single plant that we're looking at is going to require some type of watering regimen, some type of care. So I just want to put it out there for the plant foldies. As much as we do these big box or plant shopping videos, I am trying to at least plant influence everybody into having a more curated plant collection. Let me know in the comment section if you agree, and I'm just going to go ahead and again continue to show you the massive selection of houseplants at this Lowe's location. So in terms of just growing plants and just enjoying them for what they are, big box store plant shopping, at least for me, it's one way for me to actually unwind and relax, pick up some of these plants, and even just the process of creating these videos for y'all, having that direct contact where I can actually talk to y'all directly and show you my plants that I find at these big box stores. It's actually been super helpful to get over the disappointment of not being able to go to PlantCon 2025 in New York City. There's going to be other plant shows, and I'm hoping that for those future plant shows that I'm able to attend and I'm able to pick up plants, film the plants, but more so highlight all of the wonderful people behind the shops and vendors. I really think that they are truly the superstars, and even Costa Farms and all of these nurseries that continue to make these plants accessible. Kudos to them for just having these plants available for us to grow in our spaces and be able to get it at a cost-effective price. Some people are truly on a plant budget. I'm not always the best at plant budgeting, but it just goes to show that all of us are in this together in terms of how we grow our plant collection, how our plants grow, and how we're able to share our own stories and just revelations with the plants we're growing. I mean, you can see right here, beautiful Costa Farms plant. This one is another trending tropicals plant. This one is a Epipremnum aureum global green pothos, $19.98. They were on sale originally for $14.98 at Lowe's. And sometimes you just get lucky. Sometimes you walk in a big box store and bam, you find one that just has some plants that are on sale. And then you can see right here, this is at Hydra Helix. and that Hydra helix transformed into a beautiful ficus lyrata. But as you can see here, these monstera leaves are to die for. I love the fenestrations, and let's all talk about the fact that Monstera deliciosa used to be that plant, the it plant that everybody wanted. I remember when they were quite pricey, and now they are affordable. So again, plant foldies, if you are liking this kind of content, if you are enjoying walking around and listening to me talk about plants, listen to me just talk in general, please make sure you are pressing that thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. And if you haven't subscribed, I would definitely encourage you to press the subscribe button with all the notifications on. And a prime example would be, I sometimes go on Instagram live, but more so YouTube live streaming. And if you don't have the notification, it doesn't always tell you when I'm going live. I've been showing more and more of my plants. I'm definitely preparing for a houseplant tour. Definitely see that. I know we've been talking about it, and hopefully I can get one for y'all. Let's just say it is going to be happening maybe in the next 24 hours. So make sure, plant foldies, that you guys have the subscribe button and also all notifications turned on. So I want to just make sure that I put that plug. Now over here, you can see this is a Costa Farms Alocasia Silver Dragon in one of their new modern planters. This one's actually a self-watering planter, and that one is for $24.98. It's a slightly more expensive, but you know, you can say that it is definitely worth it considering that it has a very beautiful planter. And that's a thing, the name of the game sometimes is the planters that you place these plants in. It can really set the tone and mood of the particular aesthetic of the plant. So let's go ahead and continue to pick up some more of these plants. For my Hoya heads, my Hoya lovers, this is a Hoya Curtsii for $16.98. So let's just keep looking and admiring these beautiful plants. I would even say the fact that, you know, my airplane was canceled to go into New York City for PlantCon 2025 New York City. In hindsight, and as I edit these videos, I was able to produce quite a bit of videos. I was able to actually film a bunch, and I felt like that was a really good proactive way from moving from disappointment and utilizing that energy to make something productive. You know, sometimes we want to wallow in our own sorrow, but it doesn't really do anything for anybody. If anything, you're just wasting time. And so I had two choices. I could be upset and allow myself to be upset, allow myself to feel the way I feel. But then the second decision is I can do that, but also find ways to redirect my mindset, reframe the situation, and tell myself, you know what, if I'm not going to be able to make plant content for PlantCon 2025 in New York City, I can at least create plant content that features some of the big box stores locally. And you know, in the end, I didn't have to do a lot of traveling, which made it a lot easier. I'm able to actually somewhat relax because these videos, content creation is really a side job. Some people make this a full-time job, but it does take a lot to create content and to be able to find that energy and inspiration. I mean, but how do you not find energy and inspiration when you're picking up beautiful calatheas like that for $14.98? You're seeing beautiful trending tropicals plants like this one. This is an Alocasia reginae by Costa Farms for $19.98. So let's continue to explore this beautiful Lowe's and all of the beautiful houseplants that we could add into our plant collections. decisions. Should we rescue this Aglaonema red Siam? $15.98. This one is another beautiful plant for 50% off. So 50% off, $15.98. Look at how beautiful that leaf is. I am really trying to grow a very lush and full Aglaonema red Siam. This is one of my favorite plants to grow, and while some people will really just say that this is a common plant, it is one that is very close to my heart. And you can even see right here, urban jungle plants, $14.98 in a beautiful terracotta planter that has that white glaze. It's also got about 3 or 4 plants. This is an Aglaonema red Siam. I will say this in all my videos, and if it comes off as being repetitive, cringy, whatever you want to call it, just know that I'm just really passionate about getting this particular plant trending and popular. Every person that comes across my video, can you at least give this Aglaonema red Siam a chance? Put it in your actual plant collection, and then you can see over here lots and lots of beautiful calatheas right over here. I love the look of this particular purple calathea. Again, it is for $15.98. That can get really large size leaves. I really need to meet up with Drea. She has a YouTube channel called Aloha Plants. She is also a local DFW YouTube content creator for plant, and she is able to grow some amazing calatheas. So I haven't really figured out the care tips for it, or maybe it's just not meant for me to grow. But what is meant for me is to utilize all of these beautiful plants like these Aglaonemas, this Aglaonema Silver Bay, and I actually want to do a separate video where I just talk about Aglaonemas. I know I do a lot of big box or plant shopping videos, and full transparency, a lot of it has to do with the fact that you get more mileage out of the viewership when there is a big box. So for some reason, big box or plant shopping videos tend to get a lot more traction on YouTube, at least. And you know, I love being able to feature that. I am aware that I want to get some more different types of content, so I'm diversifying it, and that's the reason why I am trying to post a couple of my more personalized lifestyle blogs. I have this idea and inspiration that eventually I would like to go the route of like Benji Plants, where once I get my own houseplant tour up and about, I can also delve into just how do you style your plants, because interior design is something that I really like as well. I like looking at lines, spaces, negative space, colors, texture, all of that, and plants is just a portion of that interior design. So feel free to leave in the comment section if you feel like that would be a really good pivot to my YouTube channel, or would you rather just me stick to big box store plant shopping videos. I would really appreciate any of the constructive critique if you would like to add that, just because I am curious to see what other type of content would you like to see. I am going to throw that out there again though, plant foldies. If you want more personalized content about me, myself, my life, my backyard chicken, Charlotte and Catriona, my family, and anything else that's related that's non-plant content, definitely consider joining my YouTube membership tier. And the reason why I say this is for only $2.99, you will have access to membership only exclusive videos, and you will have early access to any potential videos I will eventually share with the Plant Foldy community. So that's something that has made it very sustainable for me to create content. Is just a YouTube membership tier. It's literally just the price of a cup of coffee. It is one way to really support any of your content creators you like. I know that I am a member of certain tiers for some of these YouTube content creators, and I would love to have a goal of getting like 150 members for YouTube memberships by the end of November. That would be a huge win for us. And I did want to shout out David, who continues to gift YouTube membership tiers, as well as Eric. He most recently gave 5 random plant foldies YouTube membership tiers. So I appreciate that. I also appreciate that Costa Farms, if you are listening and watching, get yourself some more Aglaonemas. Aside from that, go ahead and try to source out the Aglaonema white Siam, just more Aglaonema. If you got to source them from Indonesia, whatever we got to do, we need more Aglaonemas. I do love the fact that there are still easy care plants that are readily available, like this Epipremnum aureum golden pothos, $15.98. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I should really just continue to chop up my pothos plants because I am addicted to plant propagation. So as you can see right here, plant foldies, lots and lots of beautiful plants. Today's episode is really just a culmination of me choosing to reframe disappointment of missing my flight because the airlines canceled it again. 40 minutes. Can y'all believe 40 minutes before takeoff, we get notifications that the flight is canceled? And to me, that is just, I don't know. And I guess I'm kind of ruminating and just having that loop in my head here and there. And this is the reason why I have to find a way to kind of move past it. But I feel like I've handled it fairly well. I don't know, plant foldies, let me know in the comment section what you think. I always think about the coulda, woulda, shoulda. But if you always think about the coulda, woulda, shouldas, you're never really going to get the answer you want because it's always going to be coulda, woulda, shoulda. And for those that are really looking for that plant content, I do apologize if I've been a little bit chatty. Again, I utilize a lot of my plant shopping videos as just being able to have almost like a live journal or some place where I can really unload some of my thoughts and emotions. It may not always be the best thing, but at least you get the most authentic version of me. And you can see over here, plant foldies, we've got a lot more Live Trends design planters. You know, these self-watering planters are amazing. I wouldn't necessarily say that they're really necessary for, say, Sansevieria, because these snake plants are super easy to care for, very drought tolerant, but I would even say don't let it stay dry for too long, because even if a plant is drought tolerant, you can do what they call dry rot, where the roots dry out super just way too much and it ends up just dying. So it's not viable roots to actually give the plants the nutrients it needs. So we're just going to keep walking around here and picking up some plants. Let me know in the comment section what your favorites are and if you have gone plant shopping. Looks like we've got a lot of Lowe's deals. Again, trending tropical plants are $19.98 on sale for $14.98. We've got a beautiful hanging basket of just a philodendron heteroraceum. Beautiful, very easy care plant, a beginner plant, one that even if it's for beginners, you can add into your plant collection because it's one of the plants that are not going to give you stresses. And then we have right over here the philodendron pink princess marble galaxies. Those are only for $15.98. And you know, with philodendrons, especially the philodendron pink princess, this one is really influenced by the initial genetics of the plant. So some people will say more light gives you better variegation. It's for some plants. It's not always for every single plant. I would say philodendron pink princess is one of them where you really just need to find one that has high variegation. And really, whenever you're looking for plants and you're looking for variegation grades, the higher the variegation of the plant, the better off you're going to be if that is what you're seeking. You know, some people will say that they can push out the variegation, and there is chances, but variegation in general, unless it is like a tissue cultured plant like Monsieur Thai constellation, where it's never really going to revert back to green, it's not always going to be the stable route in terms of just variegation. And then over here is that silver inducan. I love this plant, but I've noticed that this plant is a little bit finicky. Even with me growing this outdoors in a shaded area and it's watered consistently, it still has some browning and crisping on some of the edges of the leaves. So I'm not 100% sure what the situation is for this one. It's still such a beautiful plant. It almost reminds me of a very silver looking aglaonema, but it is not an aglaonema. Either way, kudos to Costa Farms for this new release. This is one of their newer Costa Farms releases. And so we're just going to continue to walk around here. And if you listen to the track that was playing just now, that one is called Twilight. And I wanted to shout out my friend Jordan again for taking the time to create some custom tracks specifically for the Grow Folge YouTube channel. I really appreciate it because I want to have my own brand recognition. So there are a lot of things in the works in terms of just the YouTube channel in general. And, you know, for you guys, the fact that we are continuing to get more and more subscribers, feel free and do not hesitate to reach out to me if you ever want to meet up. If you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I love meeting people, obviously in public spaces, at a nursery, because we want to keep it safe. You never know with the internet, so just be super cautious about that as well, whether it's, you know, meeting up with somebody from online. I always tell people, be cautious in terms of if you're going to meet up with people, you definitely need to know, some of your friends need to know your exact location. I share my location with Luke and my family, and I always meet up in public settings. Because, you know, a lot of people ask me questions about, you know, as a YouTube content creator, when people reach out to you for X, Y, and Z, what do you do? I always say err of caution when it comes to deal with people, because not everybody is going to have the most positive intentions online. Unfortunately, there are people that are scammers. I recently saw some people kind of posing as another content creator, and it was just a whole mess. And, you know, that's the reason why I would even tell plant foldies that, guys, I would remain faceless for those reasons as well, is to kind of create an extra barrier of security for myself. But let me get off all of the chitter chatting. I know that some of you guys are really just here for the plants, so let me talk about the plants. This one right here is a beautiful Hoya carnosa. It almost looks like a Hoya Chelsea, except the leaves would be definitely rounder. That is an example of a beautiful Hoya, is a Hoya Chelsea. Curious to see if Costa Farms is going to actually release more Hoyas. I know that there is a huge fandom when it comes to Hoyas, so I'm just surprised that we're not seeing more and more Hoyas make it out to the big box stores. I will recognize Proven Winners Leaf Joy. They have really made an effort to produce and get a lot of Hoyas readily available for the general public. But as you can see right here, plant foldies, I'm just going to be picking up more and more of these hanging basket plants. That's one thing that Costa Farms is amazing at, is being able to provide so many different types of hanging baskets. I mean, even the Syngonium right here, $16.98. I am a huge fan of this Syngonium Cream Illusion. Look at that pastel color, that pink veining, and then just the round, robust leaves. Absolutely stunning. And you know, with Syngoniums, they're super easy to propagate. Let me know if you are a Syngonium lover as well. And we're just going to continue to go look at some of these plants. And as I pick up a lot of these trending tropical plants by Costa Farms that are on sale, I hope you guys are enjoying this particular track that is playing right now. It is called Nutrients. So this is part of the Grow Folds soundtrack. I really do like the sound that my friend Jordan created for a lot of my big box or plant shopping videos. It definitely sets a different relaxing mood. And I just feel like, you know, big box or plant shopping is definitely relaxing, and taking you guys alongside with me is even more fun. Now this one right here, I could always buy another Aglaonema. This is electric lime, beautiful silver metallic foliage, such a stunner of a plant. I would love to see a variegated mutation of this, and that's the thing about Aglaonemas. They are constantly evolving, changing, mutating, getting hybridized, and I'm really happy. Again, huge shout out to my friend Jim for picking up all of my plants from PlantCon. I know you guys are excited to see my PlantCon haul. I will be working on getting a video of that soon. And then also a big shout out to my friend Harry of Indo Miami Plants. Please go to Indo Miami Plants, search that on YouTube. Please subscribe, because he will be showing you a lot of these rare Aglaonemas, rare plants from Indonesia. And if you are interested in getting plants delivered to your doorstep, and when I say deliver to your doorstep, you can literally buy plants from artgarden.flowers on Instagram. They will send it to your house directly, and you won't necessarily need to get an import license as well. So for my Aglaonema lovers, or just anybody that's wanting to source out some more uncommon plants for a pretty good price, consider getting plants from overseas through artgarden.flowers, and just message my friend Harry at Indo Miami Plants on Instagram. He is fluent in English, and he's creating some amazing content. And as I wrap up this video today, you can just see that the consistency that Costa Farms plants has in terms of just having them readily available. You never will be sad to go big box store plant shopping, especially when you can walk into Lowe's like this that are super stocked with many healthy looking plants, where you can find plants of different types of varieties, ones that's going to fit your own aesthetic, and one that is not really priced at a very crazy price. And, you know, with plants being a huge deal for a lot of people collecting plants, we also have to not feel the pressure to have to acquire so many plants or feel the need to follow what is on trend. I am definitely that one person that is all about trying to be budget friendly with my plants. And you'll see as I continue to make these videos that while I do pick up the same Costa Farms exotic angel plants, I am just curious to see who is actually buying these plants. Because I mean, I would definitely buy this Palea Pan Am, for instance. Love the dark foliage plant. That one is for $5.98. But in the end, sometimes certain plants just don't make it into your plant collections because you may not have the time to take care of them. Like this one right here, $14.98. I would totally buy this Alocasia poly, but knowing how I was on this bandwagon of like buying a bunch of Alocasias, I figured that I could grow them in Lechuza Pond. But at the end of the day, some of my Alocasia, for instance, ended up going to plant heaven even when they were growing in semi-hydroponic substrates, which goes to the fact that no matter what, there is a lot of time that you have to invest in taking care of the plants. It's not just an easy fix. And oftentimes, at least from talking to other plant lovers, that plants we don't realize the amount of workload that's added whenever we just add an additional plant into our plant collection. So, you know, my message for today is obviously whenever you find something that did not work out as planned, whenever you're dealing with disappointment, allow yourself to feel the way you feel, but do not mope in that feeling. Find ways to reframe the situation to where you can be productive, you can move on past it, and you can create another set of goals that you can look forward to. And that's what I did today. That is what I did on the day that I was canceled out of PlantCon 2025 New York City. I just couldn't believe that the airlines canceled my flight 40 minutes before takeoff. And Yeah, it's a tough, it's a tough pillow or a pill to swallow, and it's one that is still they're very much so disappointing for me because I was just really looking forward to seeing all the wonderful plant vendors and my friends out there. But this is a different route that I went into, and that is just featuring these beautiful plants again. Epipremnum pinnatum, Cebu blue pothos. I love the long trailing vines of this one, and you can chop this up and get so many free plants that you can either sell to others or better yet bring joy and share with others. And plant propagation, I think, is the key. I really wish a lot of the plant foldies were a little bit closer. I would definitely create like a plant swap. So anyways, plant foldies, as you can see right here, this is a pretty big area of houseplants at this Lowe's location. One of my favorite ones, again, this one is in West Plano, Texas. It is one of the best locations to go to, and they are consistently swapping out different plants. Fall is around the corner, so we'll see what plants come in and actually show up at these big box stores. Again, please consider joining my YouTube membership tier by clicking the join button. It's only for the price of a cup of coffee, $2.99. And as always, my name is Richie at Growfolds. I enjoyed today's video taking alongside with me. Please subscribe with all the notification bell on, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Growfolds, and today we'll be big box store plant shopping at Lowe's out in Prosper, Texas. As always, please make sure you are pressing that thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself, as well as give me a follow on my Instagram at Growfolds. If you have any questions about the plants that I feature or just want to connect with me directly. It is a beautiful Friday afternoon. I'm actually off from work. I have a 3-day weekend, so I'm super excited to film some content for our plant foldies. And for those that are new to the channel, I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. Welcome, my name is Richie, and I do daily 1-hour plant shopping videos. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. We're just gonna see what indoor tropical houseplants that they have, as well as the fall seasonal plants that they're going to have in the Lowe's Garden Center. So as you can see right here, it is a beautiful afternoon out in North Dallas, which is where I'm based at. Now, I know that I've been doing a lot of other content outside of big box store plant shopping, but lo and behold, I will be focusing on some big box store plants and some more new content. I haven't been as consistent, so I really do appreciate those that have tuned in to some of the content that I have posted throughout the week. But you can see right here, we have some crotons, and we're just gonna go ahead and quickly walk into the garden center and see what plants they have in the outdoor garden section. And don't worry, please do not swipe away. Stop watching the video because I will get to the indoor tropical plants, but I did want to spend a little bit of time just talking about some of the outdoor garden plants. You can see right here, this is a mixed planter by Nature's Way. You can see we've got fern and crotons, and you already know if it is the fall season, you will see two specific plants that signify fall. One of them will be chrysanthemums or mums, as well as crotons, specifically croton petra. So we're just going to walk around here and see what outdoor plants they have available. Please feel free to leave in the comment section anything that you want to mention about plants. And for the plant foldies that have not discovered the new feature on the YouTube channel, I have opened up the community tab where you can post about your plants. You can post pictures of your plants. I would love for everybody to be engaged and aware of that community tab. I would love for y'all to share your plants because I love seeing everybody else's plant collections. Now, in terms of my personal plant collection, if you are a member of my YouTube membership tier, which is for only $2.99, the price of a cup of coffee, just know that in a couple of weeks, I will have some of these videos posted of my houseplant tour. But Anyways, plant foldies, let's go ahead and just walk around here. You can see we've got a bunch of Croton petras. I love Croton petras. Unfortunately, they just come out during the fall season, but you know, these particular plants are a tropical plant that is actually native to Southeast Asian countries where they get a lot of light, warmer humidity, and lots of rain. And so for me, putting these plants out in a season such as fall in the United States where it's cold, the days are shorter, it's not really conducive to long-term growth for a croton. So I get it. I understand why crotons are actually a seasonal annual plant in the United States, is because they do have those fall colors. Now over here, I'm just gonna walk around and show you different types of shrubs. Again, a lot of you guys might be into indoor tropical plants, but I love all sorts of plants, whether it's outdoor gardening plants, Japanese maples, vegetable and herb gardens, landscaping, everything you can possibly think of, and even bonsai, the art of bonsai. So I like to feature different types of plants. So we're just gonna spend a little bit of time in the outdoor section. I'm going to be picking up some plants and just walking around and showing you what is available at the Lowe's Garden Center. Lowe's is very much so a big box store that is very consistent in the in stocks of their plants. I mean, you can see right over here, we've got a holly, of a compact holly, and I know that I've just recently announced that I've become an official affiliate of the bonsaisupply.com, where I will be promoting their bonsai supply plants and you know, supplies, specifically their soil. I am looking for you know, shrubs and types of plants that I can convert into bonsai. So feel free to let me know when you guys are ready for me to make that content in the comment section. But you can see right over here, we've got some variegated shrubs. And next year, I plan to do a little bit more landscaping. Right now, my backyard is a hot mess. I've got overgrown weeds, and that's the reason why I haven't really done a full-blown outdoor garden tour. I will say, for those that don't know, I do raise backyard chickens. I've got 2 hens, a barred rock hen named Charlotte and a Rhode Island red named Catriona. They're about 4 months old, and they've been the best weed preventors, weed eaters, because they will literally eat up the weeds. So that's always a natural alternative versus using pesticides. But anyways, plant foldies, you can see right here, this one is a Chinese fringe plant. I'm looking at the potential of it becoming a bonsai. So some of these shrubs, right, I'm looking at could be converted into bonsai. And that's the thing about going to a big box store. You can find what you call nursery stock plants to make bonsai. And you can just see right here, really nice organization of the Lowe's, particularly in Prosper, Texas. I often frequently visit this location because they have so many plants. And we're just going to be looking at some of these succulents and cactus. Now, these are sourced out by Oasis Plants, and they're very much so budget friendly, cost effective succulents and cactus plants that you can add in your plant collection. The kinds of plants that you would find at a big box store like Lowe's, as I often show you all whenever I go big box store plant shopping, which is pretty much daily, is that they're consistent in their in stock. So you can see even right over here, we've got a bunch of Encore azaleas. Now with azaleas, they prefer to be in more of like bright indirect light, more of shaded areas, although Encore azaleas perform a little bit better by just giving them just a little bit more light. Acidic soil is best for azaleas in general. And then as I walk around here, plant foldies, you can just see that we've got the variegated bougainvilleas, and we have racks of mums and chrysanthemums. We've got a Mexican bird of paradise, and I was actually at the Dallas Arboretum earlier this morning when I filmed this big box or plant shopping video, and they actually had a bunch of these in bloom, beautiful orange blooms. And now we're looking at some proven winners plants. This one is an amazing variegated Chinese fringe bush right over here. I have been eyeing this for a while. This one is, I believe, for like $29.99. I have really wanted to get back into creating bonsai, and so for me, finding something like this, I might actually buy one of these as a stock plant, a nursery plant to create into a bonsai. Feel free to leave in the comments if you want to see me create a bonsai in a future video. And as you can see right here, plant foldies, we see all of these beautiful mums. I am curious to see if anybody just buys mums for the fall season, just so they can have that that fall color interest. I mean, we have several different types of flowering plants. This one is a nice purple aster right over here. Beautiful purple flower, $8.98. This is the New York aster right here. I don't really know a lot about this plant. It does remind me of a mum as well. And so, you know, that's another color combination you can put in a patio. And then obviously we have so many different types of mums to choose from right over here. I would recommend buying these mums when they're not fully bloomed yet, so you have a longer bloom cycle. What I also like about exploring the outdoor garden center of Lowe's is that they just have so many different types of outdoor garden plants. You can see we've got several hanging baskets, and obviously we have a bunch of these croton petras. Crotons always come out during the fall season, and even these right over here. So coleus plants are one of my favorite plants. I mean, look at how beautiful the color is on this one. And these are only for $1.98. You can get this coleus plant right here and actually chop off the top of this plant, put it into the soil, and it will root. You can get a more full plant. Coleus plants come in so many different varieties of colors, leaf shapes, and these plants, although most people would consider them more of like a patio garden plant, you can grow these indoors long term. You can actually grow them into the point of making them into like coleus trees, because the actual stems can get woody over time. And I've seen a lot of European Instagrams actually feature this. They also call this the palette leaf plant. Beautiful plant. Again, it's only for $1.98. And if you want something that's a little bit more unique, something that's not necessarily as trending, I would recommend trying to grow a coleus plant. So last year, I was really obsessed with coleus plants, just as much as I am obsessed about aglaonema. But I would hope that the plant foldies would be open to actually growing coleus plants. I mean, you can see the wide range of different types of colors. I will say that certain coleus can actually grow out in full sun. Actually looking at some of the coleus that were growing out in full sun at the Dallas Arboretum, it was really inspiring, and it made me want to actually grow coleus again. So we'll see what that looks like for me long term. I will say that coleus plants are commonly found, often overlooked though, because most people will not really consider them as a house plant. But you already know, plant foldies, I love love to create new trends or at least get people excited about plants that are not necessarily trending. I know that the trending plants right now would be like the variegated Monstera Thai constellation mutations, obviously anthuriums, and also variegated plants in general. Now over here, I did want to show you this beautiful neon queen pothos for $19.98 in an 8-inch planter, and I'm actually really tempted to buy this one, even though I already have a neon queen pothos. Look at the coloration of this one. It has gotten so much light that it's got a pale yellow color. What a stunner. Unfortunately, I didn't end up buying this plant, but I may come back for it because it is a beautiful specimen. And you already know, plant foldies, I am on a kick, a hunt for pothos plants as well. Now over here we have our favorite Hydra Helix. And for those that are new to the channel, I mispronounce Hedera Helix, which is the correct way to say English ivy. This one is one of my favorite plants to talk about, my favorite plants to actually show, because it is a plant that does not want to love me back. Very challenging plant, but you know, we all love ourselves our Hydra Helix. Anyways, you can see right over here, plant foldies, we've got some more beautiful Croton Petras right over here. Croton plants in general need a lot of light. I would recommend growing them outdoors, and if you are adventurous or more so want to give them the ideal conditions, grow them in full sun. They love a lot of sun. They also love a lot of water, and they also love a lot of humidity. So try growing yourself a Croton. I don't know if you could actually grow them long-term indoors. And then we also have a bunch of these marigolds. So here's the thing about marigolds. I love marigolds. I may end up buying marigolds actually because I want to feed some of their petals to my chickens, because they supposedly are really good for them. But as I pan around here, take a look at the scenery of this beautiful Lowe's Garden Center. Hopefully I've sold you on possibly growing coleus plants. If anybody picks up a coleus plant this weekend or just picks up a coleus plant within the next couple of days, please utilize the community tab on my YouTube channel. You can actually access it by going to my YouTube page, and then going under community, you can post pictures of your plants. And I would really, really love to see our plant foldy plants. Thank you to those that have already posted on the community post. Feel free to leave comments, engage with each other, interact with each other, because I really want to promote that community of ours on the community tab. So definitely check it out. And then as you can see right here, plant foldies, I'm just walking around to show you this Lowe's location. I have featured this Lowe's location on so many occasions because it is in close proximity of where I am based at. And you can see right here, they have so many planters. And what makes big box store plant shopping easy and fun is because they have so many plant supplies. So you can see right here, if you were to ask me my aesthetic, I definitely love these Cabo terracotta planters here. I really like the minimalistic look. A lot of my planters are terracotta. I also like just very matte finish planters, and you can see right here we do have the saucers. Now these are for $6.98, but you know, if you're looking for a classic look for houseplants, definitely consider getting terracotta planters. And then we're going to go ahead and spin around here so we have even more plants. I'm just going to show you more of the plants that they have available. It looks like they've got a lot of hanging baskets right here, beautiful trade scanthia right over here, and these are only for $19.98. we have the national flower of the Philippines. This is the Arabian jasmine, also known as sampaguita. I can even smell the beautiful flowers of this plant. It's very fragrant. I definitely am considering getting one of these because, to my surprise, this plant is actually considered a perennial from my grow zone, which is 8B. I may come back and get this Arabian jasmine as well. So you already know, plant foldies, as much as I love indoor tropical plants like this Tradescantia, for instance, by Costa Farms, I also love outdoor garden plants, and that is the joy of owning a home in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I have a pretty large backyard. I'm able to landscape. I'm able to grow my plants outdoors, and I'm able to just enjoy different types of plants like this Epipremnum pinnatum Cebu Blue Pothos. This is in a 6-inch planter for $16.98. Tell me why I have just gone crazy and started taking lots of cuttings from my Cebu Blue Pothos, and I am propagating currently in water, and hopefully I'm going to create several new plants. Plant propagation is one way to save money on plants. That is one way you can actually bring joy to each other because you can share plant propagations. Over here, $16.98 plant foldies. We've got another Syngonium by Costa Farms. This is a Syngonium holly. This one has a light colored leaf. Love the arrowhead shape of the Syngonium. Syngoniums do like bright indirect light. They do not like to stay dry for too long. So you need to make sure that if you are going to be growing Syngoniums, that you are staying on top of the watering. I am currently growing a new type of Syngonium I got from overseas called a Syngonium lime soda. It's basically like a neon pothos, but Syngonium variety. Now over here we have another beautiful pink Syngonium. Now this one has more narrow leaves. This one has some mutations on the leaves too. This one is for $16.98. For those that actually grow Syngoniums, feel free to leave in the comment section. Let me know what Syngoniums you've bought at a big box store. And speaking of big box store plant finds, we've got another Hoya right over here. For my Hoya heads, do you wish that there were more Hoyas available at like Lowe's? I really wish they would actually have more varieties of Hoyas. I'm definitely getting into them. I recently purchased a Hoya from a local plant nursery called Plants and Planters, so stay tuned for that YouTube episode. And as you can see right here, plant foldies, we've even got more pothos plants. Now this one is a golden pothos for $20.98 by Costa Farms. This one is in an 8-inch planter, and you can see right over here, we've just got a lot of fall vibes coming around. I'm just gonna walk around and pick up this and show you what this looks like. Pothos plants, as I recommend it to anybody, whether you are an advanced plant collector, somebody that collects rare plants, I still feel like pothos plants, even the golden pothos, has room in anybody's plant collection. Feel free to agree or disagree. Let me know what you think about pothos plants, but I would say by the end of the year, let's all have a goal of getting a pothos plant, even if it's just a golden pothos. Beautiful plant, very easy to care for. Super happy that Costa Farms has these hanging baskets readily available for us every time we go big box store plant shopping. And I'm hoping that with Dallas Plant Con just coming around the corner in October, hopefully I will be able to meet up with some of the Costa Farms team again. Again, I regret not being able to go to Plant Con New York City 2025 because my flight was canceled about 40 minutes before takeoff, which was really disappointing. But you know, if you watch some of my episodes that I filmed that day, I made it really productive. And that's really the thing about, having time off and just even having time to just relax. I am just really excited to have this weekend off to where I'm going to focus obviously on getting some time off from work, resting, enjoying my my time with Luke and just my friends and family, but also to be able to create new content like this for the Plantfoldy community. We are so close, like super close to 13,000 Plantfoldy subscribers. And that is a really good way to start off the fall season. I mean, you can see right here, we've got some fall decor, and Curious to see if anybody really gets into seasonality decor. I don't necessarily decorate for the seasons, but you know, the fall season is one of my favorite seasons because of all of the fall colors. I really love how the trees change colors. And now we are about to walk into the indoor tropical section, which is the main event. So hopefully, plant foliage, you've stuck around this long. And if you have and not have pressed the thumbs up or like button for this video, definitely do that for me, because it definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. And at the end of the video, after you press the thumbs up button, there is a hype button, which actually helps push this to even more plant lovers. So definitely check out the hype button if you're able to. Now, some people had questions about how many times you can hype up a video. I believe you get 3 hypes per week. So definitely just give them to my videos if you're able to. Anyways, let me get to the plants again. So Live Trends Design. Love Live Trends Design. And the reason why is, again, look at this. They've got amazing planters. So they're focusing on the woven basket look here. This one is a ZZ Zenzi plant. And look at that decor. Somebody wanted to get all Halloweenish, and so they put that little skeleton there. We are now also looking at these Haworthias right over here by Live Trends Design. If you look at the stoneware and even just the shape, this one is for $9.98. Look at that aesthetic right here. What a beautiful planter. And you know, when it comes to like interior design, I truly believe that you cannot go wrong buying Live Trends Design plants, because not only are you getting healthy plants, they are curated in a way where they have amazing shapes for the planters, amazing textures. There is just a work of art that is placed into the planters that these plants that Live Trends Design sells at these big box stores. And I really do find that the value that they're asking for, the prices that they're asking for, is fair for Live Trends Design. But you can see right over here, even just the shapes, the lines, the texture, very, very beautiful presentation, and it's only for $9.98. So we're just gonna go around and continue to walk and look at some of these indoor plants. I love doing Live Trends Design features because they do have the aesthetic that I look for whenever it is the plants that I want to buy. $4.98. I love these Live Trends Design ceramic hanging basket planters. Look at this beautiful Syndapsis Silver Ann, or maybe it's a Syndapsis Exotica. Either way, I love the silver foliage. And the more I look at Syndapsis, especially whenever I just go big box store plant shopping, the more and more I want to collect them. And you know, with Syndapsis, I wouldn't rule them out. Same thing with the Philodendron Heteroraceum. See, I'm looking for plants that are just going to be easy care. care. And what I've noticed is with pothos plants or Epipremnum aureum, Philodendron heteroecium, whether it's the Brazil form, the Rio form, or just the different types of these Philodendron heteroecium, and then the Syndapsis forms, those trailing plants actually make very easy plants to care for in an indoor space. And as winter is about to approach, we're about to enter the fall season, I have to really think about all of the plants that I have growing outdoors in my shaded patio area. The majority of them are Aglaonema. I don't know. I am just really concerned that I may not be able to just overwinterize them. But, you know, it's just interesting how you get inspired to go just buy plants and grow them. I know that some people are in the stage of their plant journey where they are satisfied with the plant collection that they have, or at least the plants that they have in their space. But for me, truthfully, I am still yearning to collect all of these different types of plants, like this Syndapsis Java Platinum by Costa Farms. And I do love the new look that Costa Farms has on their self-watering planters. This one is for $24.98. I love the terracotta look. I love the modern shape. I love the minimalistic look. I love the label and just everything about that Costa Farms put into this planter and the plant as well. The Syndapsis Java Platinum, that is another plant that I want to add to my plant collection. I wish I had a larger home, but that's really because I want to be able to house more plants. Really though, I wish I could just have a full-blown greenhouse. It would just make it a lot easier than to actually try to merge a lot of these plants into an interior space. I don't know if anybody else is in the same boat as me, where it's like you have more than 200 plus plants and just maintaining them can be a bit challenging. But as you can see right here, Costa Farms has all of these new releases. And you know, as I've done big box store plant shopping videos this year, I am just reflecting on the fact that I just can't believe that I've been able to maintain this YouTube channel. And we have had, you know, some viewers come and go. I miss seeing some of the plant foldies that used to be on the live premiere chats, but I totally get it. Sometimes, you know, life gets busy, or sometimes our priorities change, but I hope that I'm able to see some of our original plant foldies make it back on the live premiere chats. Either way, I am also very excited to welcome a lot of the new plant foldies that have discovered this YouTube channel. And I always say, if you ever just want to relax and look at plants, it won't you know, hurt my feelings if you just press the mute button, because I already know I love to talk. But if you just want like greenery, beautiful plants like this, or better yet, just to listen to some of the new relaxing soundtrack that I place into these videos, definitely just binge watch some of my videos. It definitely helps with the viewership as well. But also, if you just want to utilize my videos as background music, you can also play them throughout the day. I do have all of these curated soundtracks. So, you know, the plant foldies, you have given me some really good positive feedback. I did want to shout out my friend Jordan for actually creating these soundtracks. So we're just going to let it play through as I pick some of these plants up and show you. Feel free to leave in the comment section if you've recently bought some of these plants, what plants you want to see, any type of feedback, as long as it is a, you know, a kind, positive feedback, or at least constructive critiques, let me know in the comment section below. But let's go ahead and continue to walk around this Lowe's location to look at these houseplants. And of course, I couldn't go big box store plant shopping without showing y'all an Aglaonema red Siam. This is Costa Farms offering for the common Aglaonema. This is the Aglaonema red Siam for $15.98. Beautiful plant. It is the mascot of the Grow Folds plant folding community. Even if it is a common plant, even if it is a plant that oftentimes people will overlook and not really pay attention to, I want to always bring light to this beautiful plant. It is an easy to care for plant, beginner friendly plant, a plant that, again, if you are a plant foldie, I would recommend at least growing one. I mean, it's only for $15.98. Go ahead and go plant shopping. Make this your goal to at least get one Aglaonema red Siam in your plant collection. For the plant foldies that have recently added one into your plant collection, please leave that in the comment section below. That is going to bring me so much joy to know that we are growing the hashtag popularize Aglaonema campaign. And then over here, plant foldies again, I'm just going to keep picking up some more of these plants. I just am really happy that I am enjoying my weekend off to be able to create content like this, to be able to pick up some plants, and just to give you my insights and commentary about plants. I know that a lot of these plants you've seen multiple times, almost daily, but for me, it just never gets old to be able to go into a big box store and show y'all these plants. And it is quite interesting. So if you also watch other content creators for plants, have you noticed that even some of the more big names in content creation have really delved into big box store plant shopping? And I just really think it's because a lot of us are able to access these plants more so than local nurseries. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below if you've noticed that trend where there's even more plant YouTubers creating big box store content. The majority of my content, even originally, has always been centered around big box store plant shopping. But it is quite interesting to see that some of the other plant content creators have kind of delved into that. Let me know in the comment section, plant foldies, what other plant content creators you watch on YouTube, and reasons for watching their content, because I would also like to delve in and possibly binge watch some other YouTubers to get some ideas, some inspiration on some other content creation I could create for the YouTube channel. And I am going to ask the plant foldies, as I pick up these beautiful Life Trends plants, what should we do once we break 13,000 YouTube subscribers for the channel? Please feel free to let me know in the comment section. Should I do a massive giveaway? I'd really like to know your insights. Now over here, we have another beautiful Ficus elastica taniki. This one is also an urban jungle plant. This one is only for $13.98, which is a really good value. What a beautiful plant. This one also requires quite a bit of light. Actually, it's $14.98. And for me, it is still a pretty easy plant to take care of, especially if you have the lighting conditions it requires. It can tolerate lower light conditions, but it's definitely not going to give you the beautiful coloration variegation, and it's definitely going to grow a lot slower if you don't provide it that light. And then over here, we have some Life Trends design planters. This is really cool that it has an acorn, and you can see that it is an air plant right here. Air plants are often used by Life Trends design as like a statement piece plant. I really love that it does merge interior design, home decor at very affordable prices as well. Look what we have here. We have a Hoya curtsii that fell off. That's a little cutting that maybe somebody could propagate. And then we're going to just keep looking at these plants right over here. Life Trends design planters, these acorn planters, super cute with an air plant. So I'm just going to keep walking around here and showing you what else they have as far as selection. I will say, based on what I'm already seeing, there's not a full restock of plants, but they do have quite a bit of Live Trends Design planters that I would still pick from. I mean, there's a lot of Costa Farms plants, but Live Trends Design also has quite a bit of a selection right now at this Lowe's location. There are some new releases that I'm hoping to find from Costa Farms, but we'll see as I continue to go look at these big box stores. You can see right here we've got a Sansevieria, and you can see that even this little small one right here has several little babies that are popping out. And Sansevieria, beginner friendly plant, one that is also overlooked by a lot of people, but I would say this is an easy to care for plant that you can even just put as a decoration for maybe a desktop. And we have a bunch of Dracaena Sandriana or Lucky Bamboo plants right over here. So let's just continue to walk around and see what other selections they have at this Lowe's location. So as I just pick up these plants and present them to y'all plant foldies, I did want to ask, what do you think about some of the music selection that I've been placing into these big box or plant shopping videos? Does it keep you hyped up to go plant shopping? Does it relax you? I would like to know in the comments section, and I would like to know, plant foldies, if I should really invest in buying more of these ceramic planters by Live Trends Design. It looks like today's episode is really centered around Live Trends Design plants, because look at this beautiful green Marantha. Even though this plant doesn't necessarily like me, I do love admiring it. I always say that I grow so many plants outside of my home, and that's really because I do a lot of big box or plant shopping videos where literally I could come back next week and see that this plant is either not sold and still growing, or there is a replacement plant because it's been restocked. I do find that window plant shopping is another way to save money. It is a little bit risky for me to go big box or plant shopping, or at least making this content, because I am always wanting to buy these plants, but I've been getting better at not buying every single plant that I find. I still struggle with it, but at least I've been able to mitigate having to spend unnecessary money on plants that maybe I'm not necessarily able to take care of long term, because as I've said in many of my videos, actually pretty much all my videos, whenever you go buy plants, or at least add a plant in your plant collection, know that you are adding workload to your daily routines, because they're all going to require you to water the plants, pest preventatives, maintenance, all of that factors into plants. Unless you are able to afford somebody that can go in and take care of your plants, that does become a bit of a hassle. Although I have seen, and I don't know, Plant Foldies, if you've seen plant care services, have they been popping around in your area? I know in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, there are some individuals that are offering plant care where they go to your home and basically take care of your plants, water your plants, maintain your plants. I have actually considered doing that, but I don't know if I necessarily want somebody just wandering around in my home. I would like your insights on that as well, Plant Foldy. So let me know in the comment section. And as you can see right here, this location doesn't necessarily have a bunch of new restocks, but what I can appreciate about this Lowe's location is that they have a lot of healthy looking plants, enough for you to go pick a plant out if you feel the need to go plant shopping. And I already know this weekend I am intending to buy some plants, not necessarily at this location, more so at the local plant nursery. So stay tuned for that content as I create that. But this weekend, I'm just really excited to be able to enjoy it. Now, for those that are on my YouTube membership tier, the Super Plant Foldies, it's only for $2.99. Please press the join button if you're watching this YouTube channel on my on a computer, or if you want to join my YouTube membership tier, which gives you access to member-only videos, special emojis that you could add in the live premiere chats, or even in the comment section, and other perks. I would love for you to join that. I actually am posting a bunch of member-only videos, specifically on some more of my personal daily blogs. So if you want to get to know me a little bit better, I may actually do my face reveal on the membership only tier. So definitely check that out. And I did want to shout out David, who always gives a lot of these YouTube membership tiers to Lucky Plant Foldies. So David, if you're watching, I really appreciate you always sharing the joy of the YouTube membership tier with others. Now over here, Plant Foldies, I'm just gonna keep picking up some more of these exotic angel plants by Costa Farms. They range from $5.98 as well as $8.98, depending on the plant size of the planter. So this one right here is a Dracaena Lime Light, really beautiful plant. That one is also low light tolerant. We've got a Pan Am Palea right over here, beautiful dark foliage. This one is for $8.98. buy a plant at this Lowe's location, it would definitely be this Epipremnum aureum neon pothos, $9.97 by Costa Farms. I mean, look at that beautiful neon yellowish green foliage. My favorite pothos plant to grow. It is a pretty fast grower, and so that would be the plant I would buy. I do like that there is a stark contrast between the neon pothos and then the Pan Am Palea right over here. This one is also for $9.97. These are more of the seasonal planters that Costa Farms produces. So that one is actually in a 5-inch planter, and you can see this is a 3-inch planter. This one is for $5.98. But if you're going to ask me which one I would pick, I would buy the 5-inch seasonal planter. And then over here we have a bunch of 6-inch Costa Farms hanging baskets. These are all for $16.98. And we have this Hoya carnosa, for instance, beautiful coloration, variegation. And then we have a Peperomia serpens right over here. Even if it is a green plant, it's still quite an interesting looking plant. Beautiful plant for only $16.98. looked at a bunch of those Costa Farms plants ranging from Epiprimna pinnatum, different types of pothos plants. But take a look at this Live Trends Design plant. This one is a bird's nest anthurium, and this one is also for only $24.98. I know that when I was actually big box store plant shopping at another Lowe's location in North McKinney, they actually had an anthurium luxurians. And so Live Trends Design is creating a trend by actually making more of those trending anthurium plants readily available at a big box store. And then you can see right over here, we've got some more Live Trends plants. Today's episode just ended up being more of like a Live Trends feature, although I love all the other plants that you can find at like Lowe's, Costa Farms, obviously, and then Urban Jungle Plants. But Live Trends Design, there's more of those plants readily available at this Lowe's location. Now we do have these Urban Jungle Planters, $14.98. Let's take a look at this alocasia right over here. So I would love to be able to grow alocasias, but alocasias are just a little bit more challenging for me to grow indoors, and they're very much so because they are pests. They just get infested with like spider mites, and their upkeep, at least for me, is a little bit more challenging. But you can see that there are other alternatives to plants that are easy to care for, like this Sansevieria bird's nest right over here. This one is for only $14.98. And you know, some people are actually satisfied with just having a couple of snake plants, pothos plants, and Aglaonema. Those easy care plants are the ones I would recommend to add into your plant collection if you're looking for easy care plants. And then we have this Live Trends Design plant. This one is some type of fern. I really love the cocoa like deep brown color of that planter. What a beautiful plant and planter combination here. Very nice. They both complement each other. I do like the texture of the fern in that particular planter. And then we're just going to keep picking up some more plants here. This one is a bromeliad for $10.98. I do like the red color of the bloom and the terracotta planter for $10.98. That is not a bad price at all. I don't currently own bromeliads, but if I were to add some, I would look for the ones that have like the pink variety. And we can't go big box or plant shopping without showing you in Aglaonema Silver Bay. This one is for $14.98 in a stoneware planter by Live Trends Design. Very easy plant to take care of. Another plant that I would recommend, another plant that I wish all of the plant foldies will add into your plant collection. I mean, it's interesting because sometimes I will actually do a live poll on the live chat, and I will ask if you would actually add an Aglaonema to your plant collection. And I still see responses where people say no. And I'm like, why not? It is an amazing plant. But I suppose everybody has their own aesthetic of what plants attract them, what plants naturally you're inclined to. But for me, I just can't stop talking about Aglaonemas, and I could see that our community is really getting into it. But I do understand that some people may just not be into a specific plant like an Aglaonema. Some people might be into alocasias. Like for me, I would love to get into alocasias. This one is only for $14.98 by Urban Jungle Plants, but the care, it is all about how hard is the care to keep these plants alive. And so for me, I just want to go ahead and continue to recommend easy care plants for anybody that just tunes into my big box store plant shopping videos. Like this purple waffle plant, I often see, I've tried to grow this plant. I love the dark foliage, but it's just a hard plant to keep alive in my care. But as you can see right here, plant foldies, look at this beautiful Homolamena shelby. This one is a live trends design plant, $24.98. And Homolamena look very similar to Aglaonema as well as Dieffenbachia. I do love the pastel velvety texture of this particular plant. So I may end up getting one of these eventually someday, but it's a lot of these like planning for certain plants that you want to add into your plant collection. But I just wish, and maybe this is just me, but I just really wish that I could get away from just wanting to buy every single plant that I go to at a big box store. Maybe I should just not make any big box store plant shopping videos. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section, plant foldies, if that is a solution for not spending money on plants. Some people are just better at managing their expectations in terms of like whether you should buy a plant or not. I go up and down in terms of just whether I buy plants or not. But I mean, how do you not go buy a plant, especially when this like Lowe's location has so many pretty plants to pick from? Now we do have a bunch of these Phalaenopsis orchids. We've got a bunch of croton plants. We just got a lot of plants to choose from. And so for me, it is just whether I am just satisfied filming the plants versus actually taking them home. The way I make decisions on whether I buy a plant would be if there is a want or a need. A need is a plant that you have to buy that very day. A want is a plant that, like I've talked about, where you don't necessarily have to buy it. You can actually admire it while just shopping or looking at plants. A lot of my plant decisions in terms of buying plants have lately been a want. Like I already know I want to go buy a couple more jumbo Aglaonema this weekend. And so that's like a planned purchase. The impulse buys are what gets people in terms of spending money on plants. So I don't know, plant foldies, I am just, openly asking for your feedback on whether you have impulse buys or if you're really trying to also not buy plants. It is challenging at times, especially when you find plants that are healthy or find plants that are a really good deal. I mean, I did just pick up this Syngonium right here for 50% off. It's one that some people may end up rescuing. This would end up being just $8, which is not a bad price at all, considering the Syngonium is still pretty healthy. And then we have all of these hanging baskets of Costa Farms. These are all for $16.98. You've got Epipremnum, Arium Golden Pothos, $16.98. That's a nice full one as well. And I really like that it's highly variegated. So for today's video, it's just really me picking up some plants, showing y'all what plants are available at the Prosper Lowe's location. I just love the fact that even if there's not a big restock of plants, there are still plants that are readily available. So if you want to go plant shopping or feel the need to buy plants, I mean, you can find this Epipremnum neon pothos, for instance, more pothos plants, which I would recommend. There's just a lot to select from. And as I wrap up this video today, I will say that some big box stores are getting replenished more so than others. But either way, if you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, you'll still be able to find some really nice plants. You're going to definitely find some croton plants, but there are some new trending tropical Costa Farms plants that I am on the lookout for. So stay tuned for that in a future episode. But you know, as far as today's episode, I'm just happy that I am able to go to a big box store and still show you some of these pretty plants right over here. As always, please consider joining my YouTube membership tier. It is only for the price of a cup of coffee, $2.99. Press the join button or click the link in the comment section that's pinned. My name is Richie at Growfolds. I've enjoyed taking you along with me to go big box store plant shopping. Click on the videos that are popping up on the screen and definitely see my new content this week. I'll see you next time. Bye.